Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you tonight with a WWE Network review of SummerSlam 1999. We're going to go down a path of a really great main event: Mankind versus Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Triple H. Triple H, honestly, was on his way to being one of the hottest guys in the company. If you'd gone through, you'd seen the rise of DX. Triple H is a babyface character, honestly, in my opinion. When they did the breakup of DX, when he turned on X-Pac at WrestleMania, was probably as high as he was ever going to get. He won the Intercontinental Championship a few times, but in that character, honestly, he was never going to break through and be a WWF champion. I think that he needed to join the corporation, even though once he did that, he really sort of got lost, sort of in the back shuffle, especially when they did the merger of the ministry and the corporation. He sort of really got pushed to the back again, where they were trying to put him in main event spots, but there just was no spot to put him right at the very top of the list. Finally, he was able to break through a few sort of promos. They did this sort of shoot style promos with Jim Ross, where he was saying it was his time, where he brought up everything that happened with the Madison Square Garden Click incident. Basically, he was supposed to win the King of the Ring. That was supposed to be his push, to that little bit of a more mid-card main event role. Because of that, Stone Cold Steve Austin got the win, and he was going to have to wait a whole another year where basically he was eating shit by basically, having to fight in hog pin matches and everything like that. And he'd done his time, and he felt like he was one of the best wrestlers in the WWF, and he needed to have his time show. When this match came up for SummerSlam 1999, basically it was held in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Basically, Vince McMahon was looking for some sort of a publicity push. One of the biggest sort of wrestling celebrities at the time was Jesse Ventura, who had won the mayorship or governor. Wasn't it governor? Governor's above mayor. He won it of Minnesota. He was sort of looked at as sort of like a surprise win. Everybody sort of saw him on the ballot, and it was sort of like as a joke for Jesse. And then all of a sudden, you woke up in the morning, Jesse Ventura was the governor of Minnesota, and everybody was sort of looking at each other like, "Oh shit, what did we just do?" Same thing California would do years later. Voting Arnold Schwarzenegger, how he was able to win once, and then how he was able to win twice. I have no clue. Arnold is the governor of the city that I live in, or the whole state that I live in. Honestly, he just seemed like he just sort of sat around. He was never able to get anything done. He came in with the right people around him, so I sort of gave him the benefit of the doubt. But in the end, 8 years later, we're still fucked. We still live in California. But basically, the build-up to SummerSlam 1999, if you were watching at this time, was one of the best. They had a three-way match that was set up by Commissioner Michaels that was to find the number one contendership. It was Undertaker, Triple H, and who do you think the third person was? China. I don't know how it really got put together. I can't really remember, but I do remember that, WWF, China, SummerSlam were put on a huge pedestal after this because everybody was talking about how China won this match. Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was working an angle because he was going to go out on injury after SummerSlam, where he got taken out by somebody in the back. He got hit over the head with a cinder block, if I remember right. Austin became involved in this match. He knocked out Triple H on the outside. China pinned him 1, 2, 3 while Undertaker was on the other side of the ring. China pinned Triple H. You come back to the next Monday as the build-up, after you have a whole week-long build of, China's the number one contender. China versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at SummerSlam. You're thinking, as they set up the match, Triple H versus China. You're like, wow, okay, this is when he's going to give it back. She beat Triple H again 2 times in a row. 2 weeks, back-to-back Monday Night Raws. China beats Triple H. Huge. You would think that, okay, now it's finally set in stone. She has to do it. She's won 2 number one contendership matches. Mankind comes running down. He wants to get involved in this somehow. So Mankind wrestles against China. He's able to beat China. Triple H gets back involved in this. Triple H fights Mankind to find the undisputed number one contendership for the SummerSlam show. They find a way to pin each other in the end. So now we end up with this 3-way. Now, you build up to everything that was going down. Basically, Stone Cold Steve Austin is going out on injury. You got Mankind, who's a former champion, got thrown into this whole deal. And you got Triple H, the guy that's huge to get pushed up the top. Anyone who was watching wrestling that time thought it was an easy decision. Triple H is going to win this match. Vince McMahon had to come to the understanding that basically he can't have, a huge, even though he is a previous wrestling star, basically he can't have Jesse the Body Ventura come off looking like a heel on TV as he is governor. I know that, TMZ wasn't as big as the internet reporting on celebrities and things, but basically he didn't want Jesse to have the bad press of basically him holding up the hand of a heel, and handing him the WWF Championship. I know that they redid this later on down the road. Not redid this, but, Jesse came back as the host of Monday Night Raw, and with that, he helped Sheamus become the number one contender holder for to wrestle the tables match at TLC with John Cena, which, later on became, Sheamus's first run. But, at the time, it didn't sound like a bad deal. And throughout the years, Stone Cold Steve Austin has sort of, taken the heat from fans for basically everyone thinking that he didn't want to give Triple H a championship run because he was protective of his spot, so we gave it to Mankind. So, they go out there, they have an awesome match. This is a very, very good match. Mankind gets the win in the end. This is a very, very good match because basically they lay out the storyline throughout the whole show is that basically Jesse the Body Ventura is, explaining the rules to all these guys. He's introducing himself, and he's saying that basically we're going to do this the right way. We're going to do it clean. Basically if there's any outside interference in all this, or if there's, you guys hit anybody with a chair, we're not going to see anything. And there's a spot in this match where Triple H lays everybody out with a chair, and he goes down to pin, and Jesse the Body Ventura takes a vacation. He basically walks to the corner and just takes a break, just starts looking around, just, you guys do what you want, but we're not going to find a winner that way. Mankind does get the win in this match. You'd have to, tune in on Monday. Mankind held the belt for 24 hours, basically, where Triple H beat Mankind. That would be the start of his run, where he would hold it until I think he was at Survivor Series. Big Show got the title, and then I believe it was the last Raw of the new year. It might have been the first Raw of the new year, where Triple H started his huge run that really got the ball running. But this was honestly a very good show. Make sure you check this out on DVD over the network, basically just because of the special features that you're going to find on the disc. Back in the old days, I think WWE, WWF didn't really know what people wanted. They wanted to jump on board with DVD because they felt like it was the wave of the future, but the documentaries to me were a little bit weird because sometimes they went kayfabe, sometimes they told the true story, sometimes they stuck to just basically, this is what happened in the ring and this is it. They don't really talk about what happened behind the curtain like what they do with the ones now. But this one has the main event match with 3 different audio commentaries. You get to watch the match with Stone Cold Steve Austin, you get to watch the match with Mankind, and you get to watch the match with Triple H, where all 3 of them give the insight on what's going down inside of the ring at that time. All of them are done in character, which makes them pretty good. But that's my guess. Go over to Amazon, pick this up. I haven't looked this up in a long time, but make sure you buy the not the one that's on the anthology, but buy the actual real release that came out, the DVD, not the VHS, to get those. But this is a great show. I highly recommend you watch them on the WWE Network. If you have a few bones in your pocket, make sure you go over and you pick up the DVD. Buy it used. You'll save a whole lot of money, and you'll get a whole bunch of special features on there that you guys can check out. Peace out, everybody.